Hey, this is Ben from Legendary Studios, and today I'm going to be going over 10 of the absolute worst natural disasters in Canadian history.
Number 10.
First up is one out of many in Hale Alley, which is the Calgary hailstorm in September of 1991. This hailstorm alone caused upwards of $343 million worth of damages, as well as Calgarians filing 62,000 different property damage claims.
Number 9.
Second up in the series of Hailstorm Alley is the Alberta hailstorm of 2014. This hailstorm caused $450 million worth of damage. As well as the hailstorm was followed up by heavy wind and rain, with the hailstorm hailing down golf ball sized hail, causing a lot of damage and destruction within Alberta.
Number 8.
Next up is another hailstorm in Calgary that caused $500 million worth of damage, as well as did a lot of massive damage to vehicle and rooftop property.
Number 7.
Next up, and the last one down at Hale Valley, is the Calgary hailstorm of 2012. Now, this hailstorm caused $530 million worth of property damage, and was also another massive hailstorm that damaged communities all across different parts of Calgary, with more massive golf ball sized hail.
Number 6.
Next on our list was a massive tornado outbreak that happened within southern Ontario back in 2005. Now, it originally started with several thunderstorms that were in the area at the time that then spawned and evolved into a massive tornado. Now, not only did that cause $590 million worth of property damage, but it also damaged a lot of housing within southern Ontario.
Number 5.
Next up was the Slave Lake fire back in May of 2011. Now, this massive fire caused $700 million worth of damage, destroyed 1/3 of the town of Slave Lake, but it also forced 7,000 people to evacuate Slave Lake, as well as the fires destroyed 374 properties.
Number 4.
Now, next up, we got the Toronto floods. Now, the floods popped up after a massive rainstorm, and all of the floods caused $943 million worth of damage. And it forced Toronto to shut down all of its transit systems.
Number 3.
Coming in at number 3 is the Great Ice Storm of 1998. Now, this ice storm was a very, very large ice storm. It caused 3 different separate snowstorms to affect several different provinces. The provinces that were mainly affected were Ontario, Quebec, and New Brunswick. The snowstorms actually lasted for over 6 days, which is an incredible amount of snow that actually fell during that time. Not only that, but people were cut off of their supply of water and power. And I mean, we're talking over 1 million people here. This is quite a big deal if you're too young to remember this. This was quite a large ice storm. Very, very large. Very devastating. People had to basically survive because their water and their pipes were bursting and frozen. And electricity, all kinds of things. It was very, very severe. Now, altogether, this snowstorm, if you will, series of 3 snowstorms, during this massive ice storm, we're talking so much damage. We're talking $1.5 billion. Yes, it's a really big ice storm.
Number 2.
And coming in at number 2, we have the Calgary Flood of 2013. I remember this. I mean, a lot of things that, got flooded. The water was as high, in some points, as high as the street lights, right? So that was very, very bad here in Calgary, where I live. And so I obviously I remember that was very, very bad. They were wondering if they were going to be able to reopen the Calgary Stampede and many other things. The entire downtown was completely flooded. It was very devastating. The thing is it actually forced out at least 120,000 people from their homes, where people had to go in hotels or shelters and things like that to try and get away from all of this water. This is known as the largest flood in Alberta history. I mean, there was obviously a lot of other floods in Alberta. It seems like the trend is that Alberta has a lot of natural disasters. We have a lot of hail. We're known as Hail Alley. Just this year alone, we had quite a bit of hail that did quite a number of damage. So Alberta is well known for its disasters. This flood, okay, it caused approximately $1.7 billion. $1.7 billion. This was a huge disaster. And since then, from my understanding, they've put in measures where they are building an emergency flood wall or whatnot by the river. I don't know if it's actually gotten completed yet. I know they've been talking about it. I don't think it's actually complete yet. But hopefully they've learned from this mistake.
Number 1.
The one you've been waiting for. At number 1 is... Now obviously this fire caused an immense amount of damage, and it makes our number 1 list obviously because it burned up almost 600,000 hectares of land. Okay? This is really, really crazy. It is a massive amount. And we're talking 80,000 people had to be evacuated with almost $10 billion worth of damage. This was huge, okay? And I remember all of the people coming back along the highway. The highway was just lined with cars covered in ash and soot. Terrible things. The one positive thing was that Albertans came together to help out the people fleeing Fort Mac. It was incredible how the community banded together to help out. There was taxi drivers giving free rides. People were giving away free water, things like that. It was amazing. And if you've enjoyed our top 10 list of the worst disasters in Canadian history, remember, if you want to see more of these videos, okay, remember to hit that red subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification as well so you can stay up to date with our content. We are trying to make a better schedule right now so that we are releasing 2 videos per week, right? So please support this video. If you've liked this video, remember to smash the like button. Obviously it helps the algorithm. So if you enjoyed, thank you for watching. And if you didn't enjoy, tell me what you didn't enjoy and comment down below.